A girl named Tamara was performing black magic in a dark and eerie room. The scene then shifts to a high school where a girl named Tamara appeared in a stunning modern outfit. She walked through the corridor with grace and elegance. Upon entering the class, her English teacher was drawn to her. They began a romance, but suddenly she woke up from a deep dream as the class ended. At the end of the class, her teacher praised her for her article published in the newspaper, causing jealousy among the entire class. The air crackled with tension as Tamara nervously clutched her article, her hard work and passion bound within its pages. Jealousy oozed from the group of students, their narrowed eyes and sly smirks belying their malicious intent. With a sudden surge of hostility, they pelted Tamara with dresses, the fabric whirling through the air with a sharp, disdainful swish. Amidst the chaos, Kisha's wicked laughter sliced through the tension, her sinister eyes fixated on Tamara. Just as fear threatened to consume Tamara, a shadow emerged from the corner of her eye. Chloe, her determined expression etched with defiance, swiftly stepped in, shielding Tamara from Kisha's vindictive game. In that moment, a flicker of hope ignited, bonding Tamara and Chloe in an unspoken vow of unyielding solidarity and friendship. A boy named Patrick followed Tamara with an intention to hurt her. Tamara had a strong dislike for Patrick. To evade him, she entered the room of the English professor. In the moment, Tamara felt an attraction towards him and desires to kiss him. However, as she moved closer, he stepped back, being married to Alison, who also worked at the same school. Tamara felt deeply disheartened and eventually left the place. As the door creaked open, Tamara's shoulders slumped, her spirit crushed under the weight of relentless torment. The dim light within the house failed to mask the oppressive atmosphere that enveloped her. Her father, swaying unsteadily, his words slurred and laced with bitterness, lashed out at her with cutting remarks, his voice a harsh echo in the desolate room. The silence that followed was suffocating, suffused with the palpable sense of abandonment that gnawed at Tamara's core. Meanwhile, in a meeting, the trio of Shawn, Patrick, and Kisha seethed with discontent, their faces twisted into grim masks of malice and jealousy. Huddled in a shadowy corner, their whispers carried a venomous edge, plotting a vindictive scheme to further dismantle Tamara's already fragile existence. In the dimly lit room, the glint of malevolence in their eyes matched the darkness that swirled within their hearts, fueling their resolve to unleash a fresh wave of relentless bullying upon their unsuspecting target. The subsequent scene depicts the three bullies planning a party at a motel, inviting various students from the high school. Tamara was doing a black magic ritual in which she wished for her English professor, Bill, to be separated from his wife, Alison. The crucial part of the ritual involved shedding blood. However, as she reached for a knife to cut her finger, she was overwhelmed with guilt. She abandoned the black magic ritual halfway and fell asleep. Shawn cunningly copied Bill's voice on a phone call, calling Tamara and expressing a desire to meet her at a motel, claiming he wants to separate from his wife. Excited and overwhelmed, Tamara believed her black magic ritual from the previous night has worked. Unaware of the impending consequences, she eagerly anticipated the meeting, unaware of Shawn's deceitful intentions and the dangerous situation that awaits her. In the subsequent scene, Tamara dressed up and entered the motel at night, while Shawn and his friends hide in another room. They had set up a hidden camera in Tamara's room. They were watching her every move on the live feed. As Tamara stepped into the room, she noticed a bunch of white flowers on the bed along with a note instructing her to undress, promising the arrival of someone shortly. Trusting the note, she undressed, unaware that Shawn and his friends were watching and deriving enjoyment from the situation. Shawn and his friends entered the room, catching Tamara undressed. Overwhelmed by a sense of betrayal and sadness upon seeing her classmates, Tamara confronted them, especially Chloe, whom she considered a very close and good friend but was also part of the conspiracy against her. A fight broke out between Tamara and her class fellows, during which one of the classmates pushed her, causing Tamara to hit her head on the table and die on the spot. Everyone was filled with shock and terror at Tamara's death. They agreed to bury her in the forest, but Chloe, feeling guilty about her actions towards Tamara, wanted to surrender to the police. She threatened her friends that she would reveal their names to the authorities. Shawn revealed that he had a recording of the altercation between Chloe and Tamara. They planned to shift all the blame onto Chloe, accusing her of being responsible for Tamara's death. Everyone, including Chloe, agreed to bury Tamara's body. After burying her, they all returned home. However, Tamara suddenly woke up from her buried grave, transformed into a witch with supernatural abilities. During the earlier black magic ritual, Tamara couldn't provide her blood. Yet, when her head struck the table and started bleeding, the magic ritual absorbed the blood, leading to her transformation into a being with extraordinary and supernatural powers. Tension hung heavy in the air as the classroom fell into a hushed silence, the scratch of pencils on paper the only sound that dared to break the stillness. Shawn and his cohorts, their once arrogant facades now crumbling, exchanged nervous glances, their guilty conscience gnawing at their insides like a relentless beast. Then, as if summoned by some otherworldly force, Tamara materialized, her presence a breathtaking spectacle that defied the laws of rationality. A radiant aura enveloped her as she glided into the room, an embodiment of grace and beauty that rendered everyone speechless. Gasps of astonishment echoed through the classroom, mingling with the palpable fear that gripped the hearts of Shawn and his accomplices. As the bell signaled the end of the class, Chloe's voice cut through the lingering unease, her words resonating with a glimmer of hope. Amidst the skeptical murmurs that fluttered through the room, Chloe's unwavering determination shone through, her belief in Tamara's survival acting as a beacon of possibility in the darkness that threatened to consume them all. With a resolve born of unwavering friendship, Chloe set her sights on uncovering the truth, determined to bring to light the intricate web of deception and misunderstanding that had ensnared Tamara in its deadly grasp. Tamara decided to take revenge on all of them, starting with scholar Roger. While Roger was studying and reading books, the TV turned on automatically, playing the fight scene between Tamara and her classmates. Tamara appeared and used her supernatural powers to control Roger's mind. She compelled Roger to confess on live camera that he committed a terrible act the previous night and will now pay for it. He took a knife and cut his ears, tongue, and eyes before dying. One of the 6 targets of Tamara has now met their fate. Shawn and his friends were deeply frightened and confused by Roger's tragic demise. They began to suspect Tamara's involvement. Chloe expressed a desire to investigate what actually happened in the forest after they left. Together, they returned to the forest where they buried Tamara. Chloe had an illusionary vision where she saw Tamara rising from her grave as a witch. Terrified, she screamed in fear, but her friends told her that she is just having an illusionary imaginations due to fear and terror. In the dimly lit room, Tamara's calculated allure hung heavy in the air, her every move laced with a subtle yet undeniable charm that seemed to ensnare the unsuspecting Bill. Yet, his steadfast devotion to Alison remained unshaken, a steadfast barrier that repelled Tamara's advances with unwavering strength and loyalty. Undeterred, Tamara shifted her focus, her eyes narrowing with cunning intent as she approached Alison, her words dripping with honeyed venom that sought to undermine the very foundation of Alison and Bill's relationship. Like a master puppeteer, Tamara deftly planted seeds of doubt within Alison's mind, her manipulative whispers weaving a delicate tapestry of suspicion and uncertainty that threatened to unravel the fabric of their once unbreakable bond. In a whirlwind of fury and betrayal, Bill's discovery of Tamara's treacherous meddling sent shockwaves through the room, his simmering rage erupting like a dormant volcano unleashed. His voice, edged with a lethal combination of indignation and disappointment, sliced through the tense atmosphere, warning Tamara to cease her insidious games and retreat from their lives at once. With an unwavering glare that burned with the intensity of 1,000 suns, Bill's demand for Tamara's immediate departure rang out, the air thick with the bitter taste of shattered trust and broken illusions. Tamara was preparing herself. Her father entered the room. Observing Tamara in her elegant attire, he became strangely drawn to her and attempted to act inappropriately. However, using her potent supernatural abilities, Tamara seized control of his mind, compelling him to consume a glass bottle. Tragically, he passed away on the spot, the consequence of his own actions driven by Tamara's supernatural manipulation. Tamara infiltrated Shawn and Patrick's house, using her powers to manipulate their minds, coercing them into intimate acts with each other. Additionally, she controlled Kisha's thoughts, compelling her to perform peculiar and unusual actions. Chloe and Jesse were overwhelmed with guilt about the unfolding situation and decided to come clean to Bill. They called Bill and disclosed every detail to him. Bill resolved to intervene and save their lives from Tamara's malevolent influence. Chloe, Jesse, and Bill cautiously entered Tamara's house, only to find Tamara's dead, seemingly lifeless body. Determined to uncover the truth, they began to explore Tamara's home. In their search, they stumbled upon a mysterious and ancient book of spells, which seemed to be the source of Tamara's newfound supernatural abilities. However, as Tamara learned of Bill's awareness of the situation, she used her influence over Shawn and Patrick to carry out a dreadful plan, leading them to Bill's house to kill his wife, where an ominous and fateful event took place, casting a cloud of suspense and uncertainty over the unfolding situation. Shawn and Patrick, under the manipulative influence of Tamara, went to Bill's house with the sinister intent of harming his wife, Alison. However, Alison, quick-witted and determined, managed to evade their grasp, seeking refuge in the safety of the basement. In a fierce and harrowing encounter, Alison fiercely defended herself, turning the tables on Shawn and Patrick, ultimately prevailing in the struggle and sealing the fate of two more of Tamara's targets. The unfolding events continued to weave a complex web of uncertainty and escalating tension, leaving the characters and the audience alike on the edge of their seats, anticipating the next turn of events in the relentless battle of revenge and survival. The movie continued with Alison being treated at the hospital for minor injuries, prompting Bill, Chloe, and Jesse to rush to her side. Meanwhile, Kisha, still under Tamara's control, was also present at the hospital. Tamara arrived and swiftly took control of the minds of the policemen on the scene. In the ensuing chaos, Kisha launched an attack on Chloe and Jesse. In a desperate act of self-defense, Chloe and Jesse fought back, ultimately leading to Kisha's demise. Tragically, Jesse sustained severe injuries during the confrontation and eventually succumbed to his wounds. The hospital scene unfolded as a poignant and dramatic culmination of the escalating conflict and the toll it took on the characters involved. Chloe found herself alone, with the realization that Tamara had targeted Bill and Alison. She followed them to the rooftop, where the final confrontation unfolded. Tamara attempted to take control of Chloe's mind, but soon realized that Chloe had no ill intentions toward her and only sought to bring an end to the turmoil by surrendering to the police following Tamara's demise. Overwhelmed with guilt, Chloe acknowledged that her pursuit of revenge had clouded her judgment, blurring the line between right and wrong. Bill, determined to put an end to the relentless cycle, made a fateful decision. Hand in hand with Tamara, he leapt from the rooftop, bringing their fates to a tragic and final end. The movie concluded with a sense of closure, as the characters grappled with the repercussions of their actions, marking the conclusion of the harrowing tale of revenge and redemption.